Welcome! Should be a pretty quick record mail opening I've got today. There is 2 albums in here, both from a site that I've used a few times now. Decent sites, always have a lot of choice for brand new stuff, and they don't just sell records, they have CDs, and I think even the odd Blu-ray and DVD on there. Townsend music. So let's get into this and I'll tell you all about it. I've been waiting for this order for a few weeks because one of the albums, I think it wasn't out of stock, but it was like we're waiting for stock to come back in. But I was in no rush. These are 2 albums by a group I've never collected in before. Don't own any of their music physically until today. The total price, I think both albums were £20 each, he says, as he's making a mess of this mailer. So that plus, I can't remember the postage, around £5-ish I think. £5.50 maybe. Looking at about getting on for £45. I'm making a right meal of this. We're in. Ooh, okay, lovely. Just put my knife away. So this group, a Scottish group, really came to prominence in the late 2000s. I had some of their stuff, I think, on like music TV channels and a little bit of radio, although I didn't really listen to the radio hardly by sort of 2009. When I think this debut album came out. It's a particularly nice edition of their debut album because it's a 10th anniversary edition here. And I'm talking about the debut and self-titled album from Glasvegas. Nice. So this is the one that I think they're waiting for more stock to come in. And I couldn't find this anywhere else for kind of £20 brand new at any of my usual record haunts online. I was happy enough to wait. This is the Glasvegas that I'm familiar with. I've never heard the whole album before. They're an indie rock band from Glasgow, unsurprisingly. Their breakthrough single, arguably I think their breakthrough single, was Daddy's Gone. That is such a beautiful track. That it's the sort of thing, it does give you goosebumps, particularly if you listen to the lyrics. And I'm hoping the whole album is going to be kind of in that vein, that sort of quite shoegaze in a way. This sort of very real and kind of cold, but at the same time this real heartfelt lyrics, and the instrumentation just really sounds good as well. Glasvegas, I mean, they were really well hyped in kind of the late 2000s, and I think, as I say, this originally came out in 2009. This is a 10th anniversary edition that would have come out originally 2019. It's nothing in the way of fancy coloured vinyl or anything. It is 180 gram heavyweight apparently, but standard black record, and the main difference is obviously the weight of the record. Maybe remastered, I'm not entirely sure, but the sleeve looks different as well. This is a different design sleeve for the 10th anniversary edition. I can see Daddy's Gone, it will be one of the tracks on side 2 here. Flowers and Football Tops, I'm quite familiar with that. Geraldine, I think, was their debut single, and I don't really know anything else on here. This is a band I've wanted to get into for so many years. They've not got a particularly massive back catalogue. I think altogether they've only ever released 4 studio albums so far, arguably 5 if you include their Christmas thing, which came out a year or 2 after this, that is kind of halfway between an EP and a mini album, but I don't think that's ever come out on vinyl yet anyway. So 10th anniversary Glasvegas debut album by Glasvegas. Right, so you know the band, and because I thought in for a penny, in for a pound, and there's a particularly nice edition of this at Townsend, I thought I'd get their more recent album. I think this may be 2021, don't think it's 2020, I think it's a bit newer than that, but this is Godspeed. So this is Glasvegas's 4th studio album. There's 2 others, and if I want to get the full set, I need to be looking for them at some point. So don't know anything about this, really, other than the fact that hopefully it's going to be in a similar vein to the debut album. The sound's probably changed a little bit. I think they've had a couple of different people come and go into the band, mainly drummers, I think. The band are led by, I think his name's James Allen, and his cousin, whose surname is Allen, he might be Rab Allen, I think, is also in the band. James Allen was a former professional footballer before he formed Glasvegas. We have got a hype sticker on here, and it tells us what the record will look like. So yeah, let's get this one open. The cellophane on here seems a little bit loose already. Whether I can conserve it well enough, I'm not sure. Like I say, fairly new release from Glasvegas. A few different editions of this. This was the one that was available at Townsend Music. I was mainly interested in the debut album, the 10th anniversary edition. And this was just kind of, well, if I'm getting one Glasvegas album and I love it, I'm going to want to try more, so I might as well get two. The two that are available. We've got an inner sleeve there. Yeah, that's getting really tatty, that cellophane, so if I want to conserve that hype sticker, I think I'm going to be better off sticking it directly onto the sleeve. There's your inner sleeve. Not an awful lot to see, but... oh, nice. Look at that. It's coming across kind of turquoise or almost teal to my eyes, but this is technically like a, I think, powder green edition here. I've even seen quite a few sites selling signed copies of the album for not much more money either. I wasn't particularly bothered about getting a signed one. I would have picked it up probably if it was no extra money, but I wanted this particular green edition that wasn't signed, not at Townsend Music anyway. Yeah, you know how much I love coloured records, and green is my favourite colour. That's really nice, that. How it'll look during editing, I don't know. I'm taking this cellophane off, but I'll be careful not to chuck it out. Struggling to put that back in, to be honest. Oh, it's gatefold. I didn't even realise. Probably why I've been struggling a bit, because it's a gatefold sleeve. Oh, right, okay. Well, that'll make it easier for me. I won't necessarily need to stick the hype sticker on the sleeve. I'll just slip it in the gatefold protector that I use. I've done that for a lot of other gatefold albums. But yeah, I didn't actually realise this was even a gatefold album. There we are, Godspeed, the new album, or the latest album I should say, from Glass Vegas. And the one that I'm really excited about is their debut album, but the 10th anniversary edition of it. So there we are, the Glass Vegas collection has begun. And as I say, they've only released 4 studio albums, certainly 4 that are on vinyl record anyway. No compilations or anything as of yet. So if I get really into them based on these 2 albums, then that should be a collection that won't take too long to complete. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this look at 2 purchases for my record collection here. Special thanks go, they always do, to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. Please see my referral links, discount codes and everything else, such as my Patreon link and Facebook group link, down, deeper and down in the description text box. I'm going to go now, and which should I listen to first? I have already opened Godspeed, but I really want to get this listened to. The singles on it I know are quality, particularly Daddy's Gone, one of my favourite singles of that particular decade really, but they'll both get listened to in due course obviously. Why else would I buy these albums? They're nice to look at, but they're even nicer to listen to, and I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!